But yeah, so let me just repeat. But yeah, so I've been working on the irresistible offer.
Yeah, it's very difficult. We're just repeating ourselves.
That's split second, right? But yeah, no, it actually has been really challenging, and I'm surprised to discover that, because I was thinking that, so I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos on some other people, because there's tons of stuff available on how to set up a like irresistible offer, the components of it and everything like that, and just trying to wrap my head around it. And they make it seem so easy, right? Because like the few things that I picked up, they're like, okay, you want to have 3 keywords that will describe your, what it is, and and like I wrote a whole.
Actually, the marketing of it is the easy part. The hardest part is coming up with the product, with creating that product. The irresistible offer comes from something you can give out, and then the marketing is pretty easy because you can blow it out of proportion a little bit using euphemism or hyperboles just to make it more appealing with words or with videos. But the actual offer, like what are you going to give people that they're really going to be like, yes, I want it now. That
Yeah,
is the hard part.
yeah, I'm realizing that. So
And it's funny because once we get to a certain level of, when we understand business and just entrepreneurship and how things roll, we eventually always go down that path where we understand now that an offer is like the basic of all things. And I was talking with Cheyenne about it, that being a good product developer or somebody that creates great products is like one of the toughest things out there. Like you either have to be very like creative and ingenious and being able to like see stuff that other people don't, or you have to have the the flair of not the flair is a French word, the let's say the nose, you have to sniff out those people that are great at that and then partner with them and help them where they're not strong. So that's usually what marketers do. They find those people that are great at creating products but are terrible at marketing them. So now they have something they can offer them, which is the marketing part, the visibility part, the ad part, the construction of a sales offer. This is what we do. But actually making that thing, whether it is digital or physical, it is.
So when you say this is what we do, like you guys both actually help your clients come up with their irresistible offers?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's what makes you stand out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like when you're creating your ads or when you're creating a email sequence and you're trying to funnel people into taking a decision or selling or buying something, you have to compel them to do that. And it's only through knowing the prospect and knowing the offer and being able to match those two pieces and talking to them the way they want to be taught. That's the offer part. But before there's the product.
Yeah, you really have to dig into like what the customer wants. So there's like a lot of digging and like research, identifying really what people are looking for, what do they want versus what do they need, and then giving them what they want and incorporating the need into it. Because people don't want to buy what they need, they want to buy what they want. Right? So that's the key thing to actually focus on, because that's what is going to get them to buy. And then after, they'll realize what they need.
Yeah.
You just have to have that as well.
And there's many ways of seeing that too. Like the conceptual part, the wording part is benefits and features. The features is the need part in some sort, and the benefits is the want. You will not sell the features, you will actually sell the benefits of what those features are. But the features of what you sell are the things that you actually need. Like let's take, for example, like a face mask. Okay, that's something that I'm now prioritizing. Like the face mask, let's say one of the features is it's transparent, it's breathable, it's self-cleaning. Those are features, but they don't sell really well. You have to sell the benefits, like being able to smile to your family, being able to go out there and not be afraid or not knowing how to communicate with other people and stuff like that. Those are the benefits, and that's what people want. The other things are just what they need.
Yeah, like one good thing that I heard was this lady who was doing a training, like she was presenting, and she said, like, and it's like when she said that, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. She goes, you know, when people are going on a vacation, they are paying for the destination. They're not buying the plane, right? But they're buying the plane ticket, but it's for the destination.
Yeah, exactly. You want to sell the destination, not the plane. That's the golden one.
Like, I'm like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
I thought that was brilliant. So
Yeah.
um,
It's a good one.
so okay, so you're saying that to come up with that offer, it does take some time and effort then. Okay, because I was thinking, okay, I should be having this by now. Why is it taking so long? But okay.
No, it is actually one of the toughest thing, and where you really need to give some thought on what are your own strengths and what can you give to those people and what do they want, and matching those two things.
That's something you're always potentially going to be changing.
Yep.
Right.
That's also true. It's not something that is going to be set in stone. Like you can I remember like many weeks back when we were talking with when Pablo was talking about his product offer that he wanted to do, you know, his course for teaching people the business of the carpet repair business. And we were telling him just start somewhere, offer something, and then just see the feedback. That feedback is going to be golden because they're going to tell you themselves. If they don't take action, it's because it's not appealing enough. The offer is not good enough, so change it. And also there's the commenting and the interaction. You know, that networking that you're doing with their prospective client without trying to sell them, just trying to just understand what they need, understand what are their pains, what are some of the problems they have. That's how you're going to forge that product and understand how to talk to them also.
It might help, Eleen, if you bought some like marketing books. Could give you a lot more perspective, maybe.
Cheyenne bought this one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's a good one. Everything that we're talking right now, creating that product, like the research part, they give some tools here. They really they make it kind of easy to understand. It's not going to make it easier to make, but it's easier to understand if there's still some like misconception. But at some point, you got to stop learning and do that research and do asking those questions to the people.
Is there anything in particular that you guys wanted to talk about today? Because I want to be courteous of that as well.
Well, Cheyenne hasn't been doing much, so they've been taking it easy, man.
He's allowed.
Yeah. I'm not making fun of him. I'm just saying, on my own side of things. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about something because now I'm just understanding and working with new people, you know, hiring those freelancers and somewhat, and the designers and delegating some of the tasks that are needed for the project. I kind of realized like all my mind is set on like when I plan out my day, I think in terms of me as an individual. And now that I'm working with 2 or more people, I'm still like viewing my day as an individual. But then I find out that so many things that I'm doing solo, they don't need me for that. Like they can do it on their own. And at the beginning, I thought that managing people was actually gonna like double the time that I needed to work. but it's the contrary. Now I have twice as more free time, even though the project is like 5 to 10 times bigger than any kind of project that I've had. Just because I've been able to like separate the things that I do or don't do. Of course, the first week where there was the conversations, I had to talk with the client, then I had to talk again with the people I was partnering with. That first week felt like so much work. I didn't have time for anything. But this week, well, since Friday, let's say, or yeah, Friday, now I feel like I have twice the time. Like I'm kind of getting the hang of it. It's illuminating. Now I know that I can take on bigger projects and delegate and know how to delegate well. Like I'm kind of understanding how to delegate properly, and I see how I can understand now how, you know, the big guys, the big players, you know, they're doing it. Like with all those teams that are 10 and more people, 20, 30, 500. Imagine a company with 1,000 employees. What is the efficiency of that? What is the amount of work they're actually doing? Like if everything is good, wow, the quantity of it, you cannot even comprehend. Like right now, I'm only working with one other guy consistently, and we're doing 3 times the kind of work that I would able to be doing alone. It's not 1 + 1 = 2. At this time, it's like 1 + 1 = like 3, 4, 5. It doesn't even. It's not mathematical anymore. Like it depends on the skill, and it's a new order of thinking.
Well, you know, it's interesting that you say that, because that's what's so true for me as well too. Like ever since like, you know, starting this Zoom, I feel like the level of uh, production, results, creativity, moving forward has been such a, you know, like, I mean, the fact that Donna's actually now even starting to do her own YouTube channels and posting videos, I mean, that's brilliant, right? And the amount of learning that we have done just coming together. Um, you know, I mean, I remember when I was first taking this on, I'm like, I absolutely dreaded social media, online marketing. I was so fearful and afraid of it. And I was just like, daunting, overload. I don't get it, frustrated, like pissed off, you know, like I'm being polite about it. But yeah, and you know, and the big thing was that having lost that 7 grand, like it just like, you know, it just chewed at me, right? And I was just like, I was just so angry and bitter at myself for making that mistake and just being dumb about it and whatever else. But to have that turnaround and be able to create this results is like, yes, that was a big price tag to pay, but the learning I got out of that has been that much more rewarding, and that drive behind it. So yeah, coming together, collaborating and working collectively with people, and just even Constantine's post and the fact that everybody's so generous, willing to be supportive and helpful. It's been like, you know, I'm just so grateful that, you know, like we've got such a great crew of us here just being able to do this, because, and the whole thing is I'm hoping that everybody is getting the opportunity to jump, you know, heaps and bounds when it comes to progressing, right? And then, and you know, if anybody ever is feeling like, oh, I don't have a place to turn to, I don't know where to go, I'm stuck or whatever, like, hey, we got you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cool to see that. You know, lots of support, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, Cheyenne, when you're working on your projects and with your clients, like, are you used to working with freelancers and people maybe using, I don't know, use Fiverr or something like that, Upwork?
Oh yeah.
How does it feel?
It feels good actually. I get to delegate work. It feels great, man. I mean, yeah, you know, I feel like I do it properly. Like, you know, I praise people for their work. I don't just like treat them like like it doesn't matter. Like they give me like something, let's say there's like 4 parts to the project, they give me the first part, I'm like, hey, okay, yeah, it looks good, great job. Like I give them praise for what they're doing, even if it's, whatever, like. So it kind of like, it's funny actually, I was just thinking about this today. I was like, man, I kind of just wish I was like, had a bunch of employees, I would treat them well. I'd make sure the business running well, because I'm treating them well, I know clients will do well, so yeah, somehow I got to get in there. What I thought was interesting, actually, a little bit off topic, but I don't know if you want to stay on this topic. I'll change this topic after.
That's fine.
But I was just listening to a podcast, and Gary Vee was talking about how, like, it's okay to, like, it's really important to really, really self-reflect and really figure out, like, your happiness. Like, what's the happiness goal that you want? Because not everybody has to make 200K a year, because they'll just feel like shit, right? Some people are okay with just 100K or even 80K a year, but they're doing what they love to do, and they don't have to be like the number one in a company. The person who was number 17 in Facebook is laughing. They made so much money, and they were number 17 in Facebook, So, I thought that was interesting. It's a little bit like, really take a look at yourself, because sometimes we think we have to be so like grand, but at the same time, like even myself, like right now I'm going through this little phase of self-reflecting and personal awareness of like, am I really happy? What is like, what would make me super happy? Like I really need to self-reflect and just kind of took a step back and getting spiritual, right? So that has really helped me out.
I'm so glad you have.
Yeah, I have tackled that question so many times, but I think the question is flawed. I'm not saying I have the truth. I'm just saying like what I have found when I was asking myself that question, like what would make me happy? And what actually,
Okay, that's okay. You don't have to figure it out right now.
no,
Okay.
it's not that. It's not that. It's not that. It's actually, it's a much more productive question to ask, what makes me unhappy? Because then you cut those things and you get happy just by not being unhappy.
Patience. Patience, my friend.
No, but I'm serious. Like what makes me unhappy? It could be like the people around me, the family, because they're violent or whatever. Like you have to get rid of that. Once you get rid of that, you instantly get like in this happier place.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're unhappy. Maybe what makes you unhappy is being at the end of the month and not having enough money to do the stuff that you wanted to have fun with. And now you have to stay at home and not be social and whatever. And you don't have that circle. Well, now you know that you have to increase a little bit your income. That's the second thing. And there's other stuff like, well, I'm unhappy because I feel like shit. Like my health is bad. Maybe I drink too much. Maybe I smoke too much. Maybe like just cutting those things. Like cutting is so elementary. But
What helps a lot too is just kind of letting go of outcomes, and sometimes in order to do that, like you had to first like go kind of, you had to sprint and get your shit together, and then kind of like be able to just kind of let go and self-reflect, right?
yeah, that's for sure. And letting go, it's always hard.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be.
What do you mean?
Well, so I'm gonna stop the recording first.